Good afternoon and welcome to Wolfie and the Dutch, where it is always the afternoon.
I'm Wolfie.
And I'm the Dutch.
And today's show, or today's afternoon, is a little bit light. There's still some interesting stuff going on, but it was a slow week, I think. It's been a slow week since E3, really.
Yeah, it's been
Comic-Con
slow.
comes up soon, so I'm sure stuff will come out of that.
Yeah, that's about 2 weeks from now.
But in the meantime, I figure we'll just start off touching on... We kind of touched on backwards compatibility last show. And it seems fitting that we kind of touch on it again.
Yeah, for sure.
With the new Red Dead Redemption that's been announced to be backwards compatibility. I feel like this is a smart move.
Yeah, it was it was released last week, I believe.
Yeah, totally.
And the
game
to backwards compatibility.
The game was beloved by pretty much anybody that played it on the original console.
It was so good.
It only makes sense. I wonder, do you know if they're not doing any updates or anything for it, right? It's just you just re-download the game, right?
Yeah, I don't think there's any new content. Just the zombie expansion that came out a while after. Did you ever play that? The zombie part?
I didn't play the zombie part. I didn't even finish the original game, to be honest.
Oh, you didn't finish it? Did you just mess around?
See, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is I was one of those people that once I was allowed to go and roam freely, that's all I did. I totally blew off the story and was like, I'm just going to go mess around in the Wild West.
Absolutely. Yeah. You can go to Mexico.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
man.
What?
I spent so many hours. I sunk so many hours into hunting rattlesnakes and skinning them. That's it.
I think what made me stop is I had played for more hours than I'd like to admit. Like I was really binging it. And then the game glitched on me. Ooh. And none of my progress saved. And I was like, that's fine. I'm going to walk away and cool off and I'll come back to it. And then I didn't go back to it. I was like, I couldn't do it. Every time I was like looking at it, I was like, no. I don't want to redo everything I did. So I didn't.
I'm done with you now.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happens.
Yeah. Oh man, that game was so much fun though.
Oh, totally.
I remember I got it. Oh man, I got it like 2 years after it came out. I think I bought it when I was in high school. Mm-hmm. When I was almost done high school. Mm-hmm. And it was like $5 in a bin. And I was like, heck yes.
Walmart bargain
bin.
So
I wasted so much time just riding a horse around and roping stuff.
I mean, that's what the game's good for. I think this is, like, as long as... There's so many games that Microsoft can pull from their library that they can make backwards compatibility that I feel like it's definitely worth it to them.
Oh, definitely. Like, how often do you find a cowboy game?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, a good one at that.
Yeah,
like one that's worth playing.
It's Red Dead Redemption, it's a sequel, right? It's a sequel to Red Dead Revolver, right?
I think it's like a spiritual successor, I want to say. Where...
Because I didn't even know that.
It's not... what's the word? It doesn't follow, like, the same storyline or anything. Like, it's just, they're probably in the same universe or whatever.
Did you ever play Revolver?
I don't know that I did.
That one might have been... I think it was years before the Xbox 360.
I'm trying to think.
Which is what Redemption is on.
I don't think I did. I've heard about it, but I don't think I played it. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure they're related somehow. Not really sure how.
Okay, so that's pretty much Redemption. So that's definitely if you have it.
That's an exciting thing to look at.
Yeah.
If you haven't had the opportunity to play this game, I'd recommend it.
Yeah. Speaking of games that I don't have anything for that segue. That was brutal. Destiny! Destiny is a thing that's been a thing, and it's in the news a little bit.
It's going to break your heart.
it's like the 2-year anniversary for Destiny.
Oh yeah, I suppose it is now.
The game is a hot mess at this point. I had to log in to check out the second year. I haven't really. I think I've been on it once or twice since Halo 5 came out.
Yeah.
So I went to check it out. But really, what I saw that really sparked this was somebody did a 2D scroller. A fan did it. And
seriously?
It's pretty awesome. Like I'll link it somewhere so that whoever's listening can check it out. I highly recommend checking it out because it's a fun little. It's just cool. It's cool to see it in like this pixel art and it's all 2D.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing their little 2-year. It's brutal, man. Like this time around, there's just like they gave you like a book, and it's like achievements that like certain things you had to have done, and then you earn a reward or whatever.
What?
Yeah, they give you like little gift boxes that have garbage in them. Oh
my goodness. It's just those things that fill up your inventory that you can't do anything with?
Well, like, when I opened it, they gave me like 2 packages, I guess, because year 2 packages.
Yeah, naturally.
There was a piece of armor in one, and like a chroma thing for the color. I still don't totally understand.
I don't get that crap. I haven't played since that was a thing.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't really play when that started happening. Just because it was just becoming a mess of stuff.
Absolutely.
So it gave me that. But the second one, it gave me like some boots and a cool legendary ship. Not that it matters because I don't play anymore. But the ship was cool, so I guess you can get some cool stuff out of it.
I need to check that out. I haven't yet.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well get the
thing with Destiny now, like with all these expansions that they're doing and that they have done.
Speaking of expansions, guess what's coming out September?
We're gonna get there, man. We're gonna get there. But there's just so many different storylines. I couldn't imagine being somebody who was thrown into this. Like,
I don't think there is
somebody started playing.
I totally. Oh, you mean that one? Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the poor guy that's doing the story now.
Oh no, we'll talk about him another day, some other afternoon. Oh man, Lord help that guy. But
please, Lord, do help him. Help him fix it.
But the thing, if I couldn't imagine being a new player. Yeah. Logging on to Destiny and seeing all these random things, having a thing in your inventory to boost you 20 levels, and it's like, how can
you raise an interesting point
enjoy
there, actually.
Destiny unless you were there from the beginning, and I think that's a problem.
I hadn't even thought about that.
You have super high level stuff spawning in super low level places now. Because they didn't expand the universe. They just kept it the whatever many planets there are. And that's a problem. Like, like, in World of Warcraft, I'll admit, I used to play it. There was obvious, don't go here unless you're at least level 20 or whatever. Right? And in Destiny, there isn't any of that. And they keep upping the level cap. And they don't make higher level places. I guess they did put the one ship in Saturn's rings, right? There's a place. But that's the only place. They're just putting higher level stuff in lower level areas, and I think that's a problem.
You raise this interesting point of like it's too high level to get into now, and there's not enough stuff going on to stay in it. Like, for us to go back at this point, it just doesn't feel worth it. Like, there's not a lot going on.
Well, we've capped out every time.
Yeah, exactly. You cap out, and then it's like, well, I guess I can do raids, but the raids don't... I don't know, the raids don't feel great. They're
not even
feel
fun
fulfilling.
Anymore.
Well,
they're just really feel difficult for difficulty's sake.
Them to get, yeah, exactly. And it's like, some of them are really smart, but... There's so many, and you know what, I'm not going to say I'm a game designer. I do find game design very interesting, but you raise a good point about the way that they've done the planets is the way they should have done it. Because why World of Warcraft works is each expansion opened up a new land, right? So
Yeah.
as a new player, you can progress not only through your levels, but the story of the world around you just by going in order, right? But with Destiny, you
Yeah.
couldn't do that
Essentially.
because they have so much stuff on Earth that happened when the game first came out, vanilla, and then the next expansion, the
Yep.
next one, and the next one, and the next one. And they only ever added in, I think the Reef came a little bit later,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
really Oryx's ship is really the only other place that you can go that is a level worth being. Like if you're the highest level,
Yeah.
that's really the only, and there's nothing there. There's nothing to do there. There's
Yeah, it's all
no,
just the same stuff.
I guess there's the Court of Oryx,
It's
but that's kind of dumb and boring.
it is super boring.
Like you
And
might
it's
as well
confusing as
do
crap.
the prison. The prison is really the only cool thing that they've added in a really long time.
Yeah, just the arena setting is great.
Yeah, but and their online is, you know, where you're fighting Guardian against Guardian. It's not it's
Oh
not
yeah.
fulfilling. Is that the right word?
It's not good.
Of
It's
you
not
play
good.
it and you don't get anything out of it. Like
Yeah.
because you don't need to play it to get the armor, really. There's no special abilities or special armor or really
Yep.
even a ranking system. So why would you even, you know, like House of Wolves was really the only reason to play it.
Oh, I love House of
To
Wolves.
me,
That was the
yeah,
only
that
time
was
we played it.
yeah, that was the only time to play it is when it felt like it. Other than, you know, occasionally they would do some cool little events.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rise of Iron is going to be their next expansion.
You know, I'll give this to
Yeah.
Destiny. Their trailers are sick. Every single one of them.
Totally. That's
are just
Destiny though, man. Or that's
absolutely
Bungie,
dope.
sorry.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what
Hands
Bungie
off.
does best.
Hats off to Bungie on that.
What's
But Rise of
interesting
Iron,
about
carry on.
this is the Rise of Iron is only coming out for the PS4 and the Xbox One. It is not coming out on the 360 or the PS3. They're totally dodging
Oh, I
them this
didn't know
time around,
that.
which I'm okay with. I think you got to
Mhm.
cut the cord eventually, and I don't think a lot of people play it on those systems anyways. I really
Well, we
don't.
did for like 2 months.
Yeah, exactly. 2 months, and then we, you know, once you got your new one, you moved over, which I think is what has happened to a lot of people, anyways.
Yeah, for sure.
And remember, originally it was supposed to come out on PC, and that never happened.
Oh, really? I
It
didn't even
still
know
hasn't
that.
happened. Oh yeah, it's been 2 years, and it was supposed to come out on PC. They kept saying that they were working on it, and
They
you know,
lied.
it came out broken. It was unfinished, and they just kept putting duct tape over the hole, and the hole just kept getting bigger. And here
Yeah.
we are, where it's just a steaming pile, not worth playing at this point. And I don't know if
Yeah.
I'd get Rise of Iron. Like, I'm looking at it, and
Yeah.
it's the same thing that they've been talking about the last couple expansions, where it's like, oh
It's
well,
like we're gonna
there's
fix it all.
yeah, it's like there's a new storyline, and there's new strikes, and a new area, and yeah, that sounds good, right? You guys want to play that, right? It's like I don't even understand what this
Yeah.
new story is about.
Well, see, I would be okay with this if we hadn't beaten every expansion in a weekend. You know what I mean?
That's the thing, right? Is it and it wasn't even like we played it hardcore. We
No,
played it pretty
it's just
casually.
like
It
there'd
wasn't
be
like
an
we stayed up all
expansion,
night to finish it.
and then we'd play like for maybe 3 hours on a Friday night, and then play a
Yeah.
little bit in Saturday afternoon, Saturday
And then we
evening,
were
maybe,
done. It was like
and then
8
we were
hours.
done.
Eight,
Yeah,
maybe
maybe
10 hours.
maybe 10 hours per
Maybe.
expansion it took us to beat and cap out again.
Yeah, and it's
Actually,
like you
the
can't.
cap out took a few weeks each time.
The first expansion it took a couple weeks, I think. The
I
second
think
one,
it took a couple weeks, definitely, because right when
I
that
think the
happened
second
was
one they
I was
changed the
moving
armor
and
and
didn't
stuff.
have internet,
That's right.
and then they changed the armor. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they changed the
But,
armor again and added the new, like... You have so much crap to manage in that game. There's so much,
Yeah.
like, you've got
And you're like-
your credits that are worthless, you've got your reputation, you've got your whatever, there's silver or whatever it is now.
Commendations.
your commendation, your
silver.
marks, all the different marks that you can buy stuff with. It's exhausting, man.
Yeah, it's like...
And there's nothing to spend it on.
It's like less is more.
Yeah,
less
at this point,
is
yeah.
more.
They needed to streamline.
Have gold pieces.
Just do
That's
gold.
Just gold pieces.
And maybe reputation. You build your reputation to buy that new piece of armor. Buy it with the gold. Boom, you're done.
Absolutely.
That's it. If you wanna do microtransactions, that's fine. But do microtransactions. Don't add another currency to the game for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't do that. It's stupid.
What was it? Oh man, I can't think of the words. Why can't I talk?
I don't know.
Now I feel dumb. I can't think of the thing I was about to say.
Was it about Destiny?
Alright, moving. It was.
Okay, so I guess let's bring this topic to a close then.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be worth buying? Rise of Iron expansion pack, do you think it's going to be worth buying this time around?
I'm going to have to say no. I'd rather play Halo.
I agree. I think at this point Halo offers... I mean, it's too bad about it, but I think at this point save your money and wait for Destiny 2. Because they've got to be thinking about that at this point anyways.
No kidding.
They've talked about how they're going to make it. They're going to make it. There's plans to make it, to make a sequel to it. So at this point, it's not like you're going to understand the story this time.
Not like you're going to understand the story ever.
Yeah, exactly. So you might as well wait for the second one and hope that they have an actual story person.
Yeah.
So that's that. We'll move on to some movie news. We'll take a break from games. Coming back, promise.
We'll come back to some games.
But we're gonna do some movie stuff. So Pacific Rim 2 is coming out. I think everybody knew this. I think they announced this early on.
Yeah.
But Pacific Rim 2, that's the Del Toro, the director. He did that. And he's making a second one.
I never actually saw the first one.
You didn't see the first one?
Are you
crazy? Are you stupid?
No. Well, apparently, what's Pacific Rim all about?
Hey, listen. The first one is about giant robots fighting time-traveling dinosaurs from the future with the help of aliens. How do you not want to watch that? That's literally the movie. It's giant robots, giant mechs fighting kaiju all over planet Earth.
Are you serious?
You find out, yeah, I'm serious. Yeah, they're fighting time-traveling dinosaurs from an alternate dimension that come through to destroy the Earth and take over. And there's a part where, like, the big robot... Spoilers. There's a part... I guess it's late for spoilers at this point. But there's a part in the movie where the big robot grabs, like, a giant tanker ship and drags it through Japan to beat the crap out of a giant monster. A giant dinosaur alien monster. Oh, dude, it's sounds like amazing. A good time. The second one's going to be called Maelstrom. Del Toro is going to do it. It's going to be great. I'm on board. I'm ready to see it now. I want it.
So apparently I should see this movie, huh?
I mean, yeah, you should, because it's probably the best movie ever.
All right.
That's not true.
I will try to see this.
Also really enjoyed Battleship. Come at me, Internet.
I never saw that one either. That was another Hasbro one. That was Liam Neeson, wasn't it?
So good. Oh, he was in it. Oh yeah.
I love Liam Neeson.
He was the best. It all starts. Spoilers. Within this is like the first 15 minutes though. It all starts because the guy steals a burrito.
Seriously?
That's how everything gets rolling. Yep. That's the reason things are happening.
That's understandable.
He steals a burrito.
I wouldn't let anybody
Don't
steal my
steal,
burrito.
kids. Because you might just have aliens invade. uh, so that's that. I don't think there's been a lot about it. I think they just know it's coming out in 2018.
Damn, that's a long time away.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Well, I guess that's only 2 years now.
But it did really well overseas. I don't think it did very well North American, but like overseas they loved it. I think it did all right in the North American, but like movies nowadays are seeming to make most of their money overseas anyways.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The second little bit of movie news that kind of interests me is that Pixar is saying that after Incredibles 2 comes out, they're not doing any more sequels for the foreseeable future. They're kind of done with it.
What kind of sequels have they done? They've done 2 Cars movies, right? 2 Planes movies.
I think they've done more. Well, I think Planes is Disney. I don't think that's Pixar.
I'm pretty sure it's Pixar because it's the same animation as Cars.
Well, like it's the same looking characters, but I think Disney was in charge of Planes. So there's Monsters Inc. that did it.
Oh yeah. Monsters University, which was amazing. University. Come at me.
All the Toy Stories. Yeah. Come at us, Internet. Love that movie. Not as good as the first one, but I love it.
Not as good, but it's still super entertaining.
There was the Cars. I think there was like 3 Cars movies.
There's 3 of them? I'm pretty sure there's only 2.
I want to say there's 3. Anyways, so there was the Monsters, Cars. Mm-hmm. I'm totally blanking.
Oh, Finding Dory just came out.
Toy Story. Finding Dory, that's one. There's a bunch coming. I feel like there's a few more in there. Right? I think, however...
Oh, didn't they say something about Frozen too? Pretty sure that was a thing.
Well, see, that's the thing that I'm a little bit confused on, because Pixar and Disney are still 2 different entities. Mm-hmm. In the way that, like, Pixar doesn't know what's going over in Burbank, and Disney, the higher-ups know what Pixar is doing, but, like, the animation team doesn't know what Pixar is doing in San Fran.
Yeah.
So they're very different. Like, even they said when Zootopia was coming out, the Pixar guys didn't see it until... Because that movie... Listen, I gotta say something.
No spoilers.
Zootopia is probably objectively the best animated movie to ever come out. I would say objectively. Not personally my favorite, but I would say objectively it is the best animated, the best written, the best plot-wise, best characters of all time. Altogether, I would put it at number 1 as an objective list of what is best. I wouldn't put it as my favorite. I did love it. Don't get me wrong. Did love it. But I would put it objectively as number 1. And so I think Pixar is in a weird place where they haven't done well in the last couple of years, surprisingly. They've done well, but not in terms of Pixar standards.
Yeah.
Because you had a couple movies there that tanked, like The Good Dinosaur. Really wasn't good. The Good Dinosaur?
I never even heard of that one.
Oh man, that came out last year, I think.
And it's a Pixar?
Came out, yep. It came out, it was the first time they had released 2 movies within the same year. I can't remember what the second one was.
Maybe that's why I didn't.
Good Dinosaur and Inside Out, I think, came out in the same year.
Oh, I never saw that, but it looked hilarious.
Inside Out was good. I didn't think it was as good as people said it was. But I don't think that did remarkable. And I know The Good Dinosaur didn't. And I think Finding Dory is the first one that's really done well for them in a long time.
You know, I haven't heard much good things about Finding Dory yet.
I've heard it's good. I just haven't heard, like, it's definitely not as good as the first one, I've heard.
Oh, dude, Finding Nemo was awesome. I remember when that came out.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Super entertaining.
So, that was it. I didn't really have a point. I just thought it was interesting that they've decided to regroup and not do any more sequels.
Kind of like hold off on the sequels, maybe come up with some more original ideas like Zootopia and such.
Yeah. So I think this brings us to our final segment for the afternoon.
Oh, this is my favorite
which I think is going to be this. This might be the longest of all the segments.
This will definitely be the longest.
Would you like to tell me what came out this weekend, Dutch?
I would. Something came out this week. It was Pokemon Go. It came out in the United States.
What is that?
Pokemon Go is this wonderful gift from Japan. And don't you patronize me?
Nothing. No, I'm just really
save your judgment. Save your judgment.
I think it's a really cool idea. Yeah.
I can feel the sarcasm coming off of your voice right now.
Sarcasm? I think it's great.
Okay, so the premise, if you haven't heard about this, you've been living under a rock.
Probably.
The premise of this whole thing is you can be a Pokemon trainer in your own neighborhood. You walk around, your phone buzzes, and you see a Pokemon, you click it, you see it where it is through your camera on your phone, and you throw a Pokeball at it. And on my college campus, there are groups of grown people walking around staring at their phones, catching Pokemon, and it is awesome. Mm-hmm. There are like gyms that you can fight, and there happen to be 2 of them right on my campus.
Okay, I'm gonna refocus and get serious here. You gotta break it down to me, because where I'm at, it hasn't been released yet.
Right.
There's a workaround to get it here, but I don't want to do that. And I will get it. So you guys wait for next afternoon. If I have it, I will play it and we can talk about it again. But for the time being, you got to break it down for me, because I've only seen pictures. I don't know a whole bunch.
Okay. You got to be more specific. I don't really know how to break it down.
What do you do? So you go around, you catch Pokemon,
you literally
and then what?
Walk around and stare at your phone. That's literally all you do.
Do you like battle them, or?
You can fight in gyms, and there's 3 teams. There's red, blue, and yellow, right? And you can pick a team once you get to level 5. You level up by catching and evolving Pokemon, essentially, right? Mm-hmm. Are you following me there, Wolfie?
Yeah, I got it. I get it.
Okay, so that's how you level up, right? Mm-hmm. Essentially, it's like Google Maps, right? And you just see your little Pokemon trainer, and you see the streets that you're at, and you just walk around. And as you're walking around, your phone vibrates, and then you can look at it, and you see, oh, there's a Pokemon there. You click on him, and then you have to find him with your camera. When you do, you can throw the Pokeball at it. Mm-hmm. That's it.
And then you take him to a gym, and you can fight and stuff, and...
Yep.
All right. I mean, I don't see...
You're super unimpressed with this game.
No, I just don't see the appeal.
I feel it's fun.
It's like Tamagotchis, where you really enjoy your Tamagotchi for the first 10 minutes, and then you forget about it and it dies. That's just what it's like to me. Is I just remember the Tamagotchi craze, and it feels like the same thing. Within a week, is just gonna blow over.
Yeah,
I have
you know
heard
what?
Stories
Honestly,
about it.
I don't know. I like next week I'll be able to say like, yeah, I'm totally over it, or if I'm still into it, we'll see.
I mean, I think this is an experiment where we have to watch it for like a year. Like what is going to be the retention within a year of this? Because a year isn't that long for a game, if you're thinking about it. Like for a game like this, where it's very heavily on users and community to do the upkeep.
Yeah.
You know, you need to, because they ultimately have to make money off of this, right?
Mm-hmm. And there are microtransactions.
Yeah, so there you go. So if
Let
people
me
aren't
let
playing,
me
they're not making money.
let me pull up how you can do the microtransactions. I obviously
Okay.
am poor and do not do these,
Right. Fair enough.
but essentially you can buy Pokeballs and eggs and whatnot and things that can help you, right?
So how many
But it
Pokeballs do you
costs.
get? Do you have an infinite amount?
Oh
Or
no,
what's
no,
the
no.
deal?
I don't remember how many I started with. I think I started with like 100,
Mm-hmm.
but there's Poke stops, and it's like wherever there's some sort of fancy monument or some place that's frequented by people, they have these little Poke stops, and you can click on it, and every 5 minutes you can click on it, and it gives you random stuff like eggs and Pokeballs and stuff like that. So it's not
Oh, I
like you
see.
can't get them if you don't pay for them. If you had to pay for them, once I ran out, I would never play again because I'm not paying
So
to
are
catch.
there
Oh,
better Pokeballs? Like I know in the games you can get like Master Balls and stuff. Is
yeah.
it just one Pokeball,
I
or are you able to buy that other stuff?
If there are more than one kind, I haven't found one yet.
Okay. I'm sure that's
Right
something they can
now,
add in later though. Like I'm sure there's a lot of stuff on their list that they want to add.
yeah. And right now they have 250, I believe, Pokemon in the game,
Okay.
and I have
I
caught
have
34
seen.
different ones.
Oh, look at you.
But
Are
total,
you
I have
like
no
the
idea how
leader of
many
a
I've
gym?
caught. I'm not the leader of a gym. What are you talking
No,
about?
that's I don't know. I
I
have
will
seen like
be
stories
Monday
and stuff
morning
about
when
it
my
that I
building
find
opens.
entertaining. Like, have you seen the one where a guy throws his phone by accident? Well, I guess not by accident. He threw it on purpose. There's like he's like texting his friend because he doesn't know how to play, and he's like, "What do I do? I need to catch it." And the person's like, throw it at the Pokemon." So he throws his phone, and he breaks it basically.
Ugh,
It's like stuff like that. I love that kind of stuff when this stuff comes out. It's great.
yeah.
Somebody found a dead body. I guess this is what's
Yeah!
gonna start happening, right?
Up in
Like
Wyoming. Now that the
I think it's
Americans are walking around and doing things
yeah,
outside.
exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Is like I guess the more people are going outside, the more this is gonna happen. Which hey, man, if it gets you outside and you're having fun, that's great.
Yeah.
I
Straight
hope you
up.
don't find
Me
any
and
dead
some
bodies.
friends me and some friends walked around town, different
Hmm.
areas of town for oh man, for almost 10 hours today. And we just walked around and caught Pokemon and drank coffee.
See, I've heard a couple like I've seen on forums or whatever that people are you'll like some people will see someone wandering around looking at their phone and they'll like group up
Yep.
and become friends trying to find Pokemons.
Yep. We were walking around last
I
night
think that's pretty cool.
and some random guy walked past us staring at his phone. And I was like, "Hey, you catching Pokemon?" He was like, yeah." I was like, "Nice." It was great. Hey,
Oh
hey,
boy.
kid, you catching
Anyways,
Pokemon?
I think does that bring us an end on that topic, on our final topic?
That brings us to the end of the afternoon.
So I feel like we'll probably wrap back around on that one next afternoon, next week.
Likely.
It feels like this show is becoming a weekly thing.
I think it should be.
Um, I feel
At
like
least we
it's
have at least
doable.
one fan.
We got one. Thank you, Cody.
Shout out to Cody right there.
We did see your question, but it didn't seem appropriate to answer with one
We will
question.
answer it, but not
It's
this
coming out. I
afternoon.
feel we haven't decided. I think this is all behind the scenes for all the 4 people that are watching. We haven't decided if we're going to do a separate show for questions or work it in at some point
For
during the
sure.
show.
Yes.
Um. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. If
Mm.
you want to, you can always leave a comment or a question for us somewhere. You can also follow us at Twitter, which I gave you the wrong Twitter handle last week. It's actually Wolfie underscore the Dutch, because otherwise it's too long for Twitter. Wolfie and the Dutch is too long.
Oh, yeah.
So it's Wolfie underscore the Dutch. So make sure to check us out there if you want to be the first to see, because tweet it out as soon as it comes out.
Yes.
Yeah, and again, subscribe, leave a like, share the video if you enjoyed it. And as always, I'm Wolfie.
And I'm the Dutch.
And we'll see you next afternoon.